is more, this is basically balancing out the whole Christmas thing. I mean, boy, you should see Lennox Square Mall and, I mean, North Lake, man, them white people out there buying like mad. But you best believe we outdoing them when it comes to consuming and shit. You see what I'm saying? So my whole thing is that white boy, the government don't want nothing to happen to you all, because who gonna buy all that shit? You see what I'm saying? Shoot. I mean, the white supremacists might have a little thing. The government like, wait a minute now, hell, these niggas are keeping the economy going. I saw two brothers in a Bentley the other day. So you know damn well we got some money. You know, so, yeah, introduce yourself and tell them everything about you and, you know,
Greetings. My name is Sarah Janiku. I used to have a slave name that was Sylvia, and I killed that spirit. Everyone knows this evening that you look very beautiful, and I want to be a compliment to you because you're a compliment to me. And this is a very raw draft piece that I prepared overnight, and I promised to get it here, and I didn't get it out as I wished. However, I'm going to make my best effort to present it for you. I need your support. This is my very second time doing open mic. I'm from Panama, Central America. That's what the accent is all about. And I ask you to relax, sit back, relax, and say the speech with me. And the gist of it is I was watching Channel 30, and there was some series of music on from the 30s, and I went back there, you know, I looked back at us from the days when we were a throng of people who were more united, and I see that unity in this room. However, when I go by 5 Points downtown, I do not see that. So, although I'm going to read this poetry here this evening, my main focus is to get it out in the community for those people who are not awakened yet, to water their soul and help them to begin to rise up and to be where we are this evening. And the topic is on my mind once again. Where are our genuine lovers, our brothers, our husbands, our men, the ones who were conceived by mutual union of true love, the ones who were nurtured and breastfed by their mothers in the presence of their fathers? Where are our warm brothers? I miss them, and I want them to know that they're on my mind once again. And where are our genuine sisters, wives, or women, the ones who willingly conceived through a mutual union of love, the ones who were nurtured and breastfed by their mothers in the presence of their fathers? They too are on my mind today. Where are our warm-blooded brothers, the brothers who used to cherish us and we cherish them, the ones who possess the kind of mind that made them look at us with healthy admiration, the men who used to make and sing sweet love songs about us, for us, with us? Where are they? Do you know? Where are the men who used to struggle, sweat, and bleed for us? The ones who supported us and our children? Where are our valiant shining armor, our tender brothers? They're on my mind once again. Where are our strong brothers, the ones with the determined mind, brain, and body muscles, the ones with the sweet lips, the ones who we could depend on? Oh, they're so far away today. Please tell them that they're on my mind. Where are my brothers with the strong voices, the ones who stood for something and afford nothing less, the ones whose strong voices helped to keep our children, our home, and our community in harmony? Where are our men, our children's true daddies, their fathers, their uncles, and our brothers, and the sisters who were a compliment to them? I truly long for them. Where are the brothers who saw sisters as a sacred compliment to them, and the sisters who saw brothers as a sacred compliment to them? Where are the brothers who took time from their busy schedule to say dinner was good, And the sisters who could say, you are worthy of this provision. Why did these sweethearts depart? I don't mean to put up a fuss, but they are on my mind today. Where are the brothers who used to be so refined? The ones who walked proudly and sat tall? I wish they could come close again, so that I could whisper in their ear as sweet and tender words, such as, I want to make you mine again. Where are sisters who used to be refined, so graceful and strong? The sisters who knew how to stand, how to sit, how to make feminine clothing that complemented them. I long for her to come home to him, and for him to come back to her. My brothers, sisters, return to your throne, for you are on my mind once again.
Oh, I say. So as the tape gets out, you know, you will see that the various talents that we have here also too. And as you know, the tape can be, you can get the tape through Dean at 770-652-2376. Or it's also, I think he's already sent you out these in the mail, but you know, you can get these through Dean, Brother Dean also. Also, we want to, what we want to do right now is give a shout out to the owners of the place, because the energy, man, is real nice. First of all, we want to give first thing we need to do is we need to give a nice round of applause to the brothers over at Shallow Grave on Peter Street, because they made it possible for a whole year to provide space so we can come and do the lecture. So they ended up having to close the place. So we want to give some type of appreciation, a symbol of our appreciation. So we want to give a good shout out to the Shallow Grave and let them know that we appreciated them doing this particular information and providing the space for us for the last year. So y'all give them a big round. You know, and also we want to give a big round for Sister E.I.O., as you know, African, who provided a place from 1995 to 1999. So we're going to give her a shout out. Keep it still. But also, we want to give, what's the name of the place?
Which one?
This place.
Oh, Stop. Original Jamaican Patty Stop.
The Patty, what is it now?
Original Jamaican Patty Stop.
Yeah, original Jamaican Patty Stop. I want to put that on the actual tape, as well as the brother has another place still on Edgewood. He still has a place on Edgewood? Yeah, so we want to give a shout out. And also we want you to frequent the establishment too. Let's say if you're downtown doing lunch or whatever and you're in the area, you need to come by here because you know it's here, as well as over on Edgewood, right across the street from Sister African, Sister E.I.O.'s place. Arrow's place. It was right across the street. I think it's still there. But the brother used to sell food to us during the breaks then. So it's interesting, and I can tell it's got a nice, people is coming in saying they really like it, so that means that the atmosphere is real good. You see what I'm saying? So we lucked out again, you see, so to keep the show rolling, we lucked out again. Now it's interesting because to keep on going, I want to, my man just passed on, and we going to give him the shout out and stuff because, you know, we are all a little touched in the head, you know what I'm saying, based on the psychology of black people. But then again, that's just all out of line. But that's prophesied. We're going to get into some of that today also, too, of why we are sick as a spiritual aspect. And as a spiritual aspect also, too. And I'm going to want you to go rent a movie that's dealing with this also. But right now, we want to give a little roll call. This is a roll call of all the black people in sports, entertainment industry, whether it was singing, whether it was movies, whether it was sports. We still, when you think about it, especially movies, we don't have that many people that's in the motion picture industry, but yet they make up almost 75% of those people marry outside of their race. So we want to give a little roll call. I did one not too long ago on a tape, but and I put one together. It was about 60 or 70 people back in 1992. So this is the new revised list. So I want to give you these particular people. These are people who either married white people who got girlfriends by them, or who was even married and ended up coming to their senses still, yet they made the list. So, you see what I'm saying? James Earl Jones, you know, Sammy Davis Jr., Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, Dorothy Dandridge, Leslie Uggams, Barbara McNeil, Pearl Bailey, Scatman Crothers, Herbie Hancock, Lonette McKee, Wesley Snipes, going with an Asian right now, Stephen White. Red Fox, he got an Asian. Montel Williams, he got a strip kilo. I'm so glad he got a muscle, whatever the shit he got. Here you are, you know, got a TV show, and then you go and embarrass us by getting a strip kilo?
Yes, straight up.
Straight up strip kilo? Yeah, right. So Montel Williams, Erica Alexander, that's the sister from Living Single, the dark-skinned one. And one was on Cosby. She got one, Kim Fields. She married a Korean. Cuba Gooding Jr. Lynn Whitfield. She married one. She got rid of it, but she married the guy who produced her in the Josephine Baker story. Lynn Moody. That's one from the... So some of you old enough remember she was from the 70s and early 80s. Sonny Rollins, jazz player. Gregory Hines, Quincy Jones, Iman. You know, model, Naomi Campbell, Tay Diggs, yeah, Mr. Finance, Tay Diggs, yeah, got him a white one, yeah. This the best man, fucking worst man. Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Charles Barkley, yeah, I'm glad you heard his old fucking leader the other day. Robert Parrish, Ray Allen, yeah, Casey Jones, Grover Washington Jr., Anne-Marie Johnson, that's the one from A Heat of the Night. Heat of the Night. Alfie Woodard, Jack Johnson, Melvin Van Peebles, Richard Pryor, Milt Chamberlain. This nigga here, like I said before, good riddance. This nigga was the first person to stand up and say, he's the first person to openly attack black women in history, in public history, where he stood up against black women in the early 70s. Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem said he never lived until he got a white woman. He said, I never lived life until I got me a white woman. Tiger Woods, he got him one. Tim Duncan. Yeah. Where's Tim Duncan? Basketball, right? Yeah. Stacey Dash. She's, what's Stacey Dash on? Clueless, right? Clueless, yeah. Tammy Newton, that's Delilah. Tammy Newton, Diana Ross, Maya Angelou. Diane Carroll, Lena Horne, Leah P. Price, Donna Summer, Puff Daddy, Sleeping White. I don't care if she's Hispanic. No, get you a sister. You don't understand. Y'all buying these damn records, you respect. Get you a damn sister. I don't want to hear that shit. That's right. Puff Daddy, Sleeping White. It don't matter if he's going with her. He's going with her. No matter. That's right. Puff Daddy, Prince, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, LaToya Jackson. You know that. Debbie Thomas, that's a skating woman. Remember she was there in the Olympics? Debbie Thomas, Darian Haywood. He played in what's the man used to run in the 1930s? Jesse Owens story. Darian Haywood, Olivia Cole. She was on Roots. When you see Roots, you'll see it on there. Carl Weathers, Whoopi Goldberg, Nell Carter, Matt Sinclair, Roxy Rocker. That's the white black girl on Jefferson's and what's his name's mama? Lee Radisson. Jimi Hendrix. Lou Rawls. He had one. Lou Rawls, Shaka Khan. Yevon Jehodo. Richard Browntree. Now, it's a sad day with Shaft in the White Herschel Walker. Football player. O.J. Simpson, naturally. Tina Turner. Ike Turner. Della Reese. Rod Carew. Remember he had the Jew girl and they couldn't get no genes. They couldn't get no bone marrow because he, they say, we don't know what kind of species this shit is. You ain't all black, then you go get a Jew, and the daughter ended up dying. Barry Bonds, Frank Thomas, Clarence Thomas, Adam Clayton Powell had one. One of the corner sisters, I can't think of which one it was. Glenn Rice, Rick James, here he goes. Beat another sister's ass over some white girl for her dope. Then that whole thing went down. LeVar Burton, now you done sat there with Kunta Kinte get down. Now, Kunta Kinte, you ain't learned shit. They whip your ass in front of all the damn TV on CBS, 1977, February 23rd, and you didn't learn shit from this? I think he went ahead and got him a black woman, but he sure had one. He got a black woman now, but he was married to the woman on Three's Company. George D. Witt, yeah. Kunta Kinte had one. Let's see, okay, LeVar Burton, Billy D. Williams, yes, he was out of school. Yeah, Billy D. had one. Linda Clifford, she was a soul singer from the late 70s and early 80s. Fred Williamson, Angela Davis. Angela Davis, yeah, she married at the time it started, 1976. That's right, Angela Davis. Ben Vereen, Frederick Douglass, Paula Abdul, unnaturally, Mariah Carey, well, that was natural. Ray Dawn Jones, well, she didn't take his back. Tookie Smith, that's Willie Smith, so, you know, she was married, she was going to Robert De Niro. He didn't marry her, though. Al Jarreau, George Stanford Brown, Denise Williams had one. Julian Bond, he married him a Jew in 91. Rosie Greer, he had his little baby up there singing the national anthem. The baby was cutting the fool, crying, embarrassed his ass up there. You know, Rosie Greer, Dennis Green, Sheikh Anthony Diop, Sinclair Drake wrote a book, Black folks here and there. J.E. Rogers, Ivan Van Sertima. Yeah, Ivan had one. Dr. James Dr. Ben made him get rid of them. Reggie Jackson, Todd Bridges, Henry Louis Gates. Henry Louis Gates. Now, this asshole doing something on black people, and he married his one. Henry Louis Gates. Lila Rashawn. She getting married. Yeah. You know, Lila Rashawn, that's some sunshine in the world. The way you go ahead and tell, that's the one you know, yeah. Lila Rashawn. Alfonso Ellis. What is he? Alfonso Ellis. D. Brown. He's from when the Celtics. You see Coolio. Get Coolio. Coolio, yeah. Mookie Blaylock. Mookie got one. Marcus Allen. Danny Manning. Quinn Buckner. Sly Stone. Vanessa Williams. Remember she had one. And when they dropped their ass out there, she came on her senses. He dropped her. Kicked her to the curb. Bill Cartwright. DJ Armstrong. Tatiana Ali, she going with a white boy now. Sure is. That's the one on the Fresh Prince, the young one. Sure is. Bobby McFerrin. Bobby McFerrin. Alice Walker had one. Yeah. Kobe Annan, that's the nigga that's over the UN now. Yeah, right. Bill Russell, he had one. Minnie Riverton. You heard Howard Hewitt. Yeah. Yeah, he got one now, real blonde one, real naughty crap. Murphy Ellington, that's Duke's son. Paul Mooney, you know, yeah. David Thompson, remember David Thompson? Yeah. Leroy Jones. And I also say, who else had, what's the girl that want to put on Maureen Hansberry? Y'all can think of any more. No. Which one? Oh, yeah, Octavia Butler, science fiction writer. Got her one. Yeah. No, well, that was an arrangement. I got the scoop on that. What Dr. Ben did was he went over to Egypt. I got the scoop on that. But I wanted to get that shit straight. Dr. Ben went over to Kemet. In order for him to teach at the University of Al-Azhar, he had to get married. You have to be, in the Muslim countries, you got to be married. So basically, they went through a ceremony and appointed him a wife. She was an Arab woman, and that was just a political thing just to teach. You see what I'm saying? So it really wasn't his wife and all. That's just something they had to do, because over in the Arab country, you got to be married in order to teach at the University of, I think, Al-Azhar. So that's what happened also, too. Now, this was interesting here. H.P. Lovecraft which is one of the fathers of horror, and even Stephen King said, I think it is beyond doubt that H.P. Lovecraft has yet to be surpassed in the 20th century as the greatest practitioner of classical horror tales. This is Stephen King talking about him, and all the people got this. Most horror writers, they all follow H.P. Lovecraft, but H.P. Lovecraft had a series of dreams, and those dreams was talking about this pre-human race, and that's what we're going to also get into today, on who we actually are. You know them as monsters and all that type of stuff. It's actually your higher self. But anyway, he also mentions, and it's interesting because they have his stories all the time. But this was interesting that that Pendulum Press, which is coming from London, England, they put out the same stories. So I'm like, well, you know, I got all these stories, you know, the Call of Cthulhu in this particular book. It's called H.P. Lovecraft, the Call of Cthulhu, and Weird Stories by Penguin Press. So I said, so what's the big deal? So I've been seeing it a couple of months, and this one is edited by S.T. Joshi. J-O-S-H-I. J-O-S-H-I. That's Joshi or Joshi or whatever. Joshi, I don't know. But anyway, that's the one that you want to get. Now, it's interesting. I'm saying, so what's the big deal? I mean, this book is printed in by 3 or 4 or 5 different book companies print their particular book. So some just saying all these stories. And I'm like, well, damn, why do they keep putting out the same stories? And then I said, well, wait a minute. This is Penguin is coming from England. So I looked in the back and it had explanatory notes. It's about a good 10 or 12 pages. So that's worth me buying the book just to get the explanatory notes for 10 pages. It was like $12, but I got this one used for like $7. But and some said, you know, I said, I already got it. But I looked in the back, I said, well, it's got these notes. And some spirit said, you need to get that. And so it was, yes, I've been seeing this book for a couple of months. When it came back out, and the reason why I didn't get it because they just printed their version of something that other book companies have been printing. So I was trying to find out. The Spirit told me to get this. So I'm saying, okay, I got the book, and because some said something is in this particular book, and so I want to read something, and I'm at the bus stop. Just got the book, and I'm like, damn, I can't believe I paid $7 for a book I got about 10 times. But I said, well, then again, the notes in the back, that's the key. And I said, this is coming from England, so you know they're going to be dropping some stuff. So I opened it up in the book, opened up to the page, and lo and behold, I said, this one little passage in the book was worth the whole $7. And this is what it says. The last clause is critical. This generalized statement concerning the possibility of human beings not to be entirely human is not logically deductible from a single case of miscegenation. Now, this is what H.P. Lovecraft, and I told you H.P. Lovecraft was actually a racist. Now, and I told you, you know that this stuff is spiritual. How can a known racist take the chief figure, all the rest of the figures in his book is these monster figures or these pre-alien figures, and the hero of it, the only one that's in human form is the black man near that hotel. Now, how would he take, now a racist would not make the hero, you see what I'm saying, of his mythos, a black person, not unless he was telling the truth, and he said he got all his stuff from dreams. And the story goes, he wrote all these particular books, and then when he decided one day that he was not going to reveal this stuff anymore and stop writing, he came down with brain cancer because the energy literally killed him. So in actuality, he was actually channeling this information, and it was these pre-human races and history that at that particular time, the only person that ever said that we'd been on the earth 66 trillion years was Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And his started at something like 2 billion. So therefore, we understand that when knowledge is suppressed, it has a way to come back. And so it comes back through dreams. Now, it's interesting. The point I'm trying to make here is this man is a racist. Now, what he's about to say is astonishing, so that means he has to report the truth, because a racist would never say this. You see? A racist would never say this. Now, it's interesting. What Lovecraft appears to be suggesting is that the inhabitants of a primeval African city of white apes are not only the missing link between apes and humans, i.e. white people, but also the ultimate source of all white civilization. I'm going to read this again now. Hold on now. First of all, it documents shit. Wayne State University put out a book on how this guy was a racist. H.P. Lovecraft was studying fantasy. But this man is just quoting something. I'm going to read this again now. Lovecraft appears to be suggesting that the inhabitants of a primeval African city of white apes are not only the missing link between apes and humans, but is the ultimate source for all white civilization. Now, I got this up yesterday. The entire white race is derived from a primeval race in Africa, a race which had corrupted itself by intermingling with apes. Read that again now. And the entire white race is believed is derived from a primeval race in Africa, a race which had corrupted itself by intermingling with apes. You see, this is the only explanation of the narrator opening statement. Now, this is his other statement. If we knew who we are, we all should do as Sir Arthur Gentman did, commit suicide. If we know who we are, we should all commit suicide. Now, your boy Michael Crichton, they all study all this stuff. So he goes and he makes the movie Congo. Now remember the movie Congo? There was some white-looking apes up in there, and he say those apes turned against their masters, which was black people, and killed off their masters. Now in here they got a whole primordial city of apes. Now this is interesting here because he wouldn't make a comment if it wasn't true. What person is going to make up a fabricated lie about their people if he's not one of those people in European society that understand their origins? They say that they need to commit suicide because they all came from a race of apes. Now, there's something that needs to be cleared up because it said the missing link between apes and humans, the ultimate source of white civilization. The entire white race is derived from a primal race in Africa, a race that had corrupted itself by intermingling with apes. This goes back to what I had suggested earlier based on them using alchemy and basically splicing genes and gene splicing, and some of the genes that they use with human DNA, which was our DNA, with ape DNA. And so our DNA would actually be the intellect that you see them having, which took over the course of years to evolve. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, in the movie, Michael Crichton's movie, now what were they going to the city to get? Was it gold or was it diamonds? Well, see, if you understand anything about alchemy, anytime they're dealing with diamonds, gold, and diamond is nothing but crystallized carbon, you know what I'm saying? And oil. So therefore, they were talking about the mysteries of melanin. You see what I'm saying? Now, so basically, it's also dealing with alchemy and how these people, this city, was working with gene splicing. So here it is again, the Millennium edition. And why would they put out the Millennium edition? They put out this stuff in the explanatory notes on page 365 in this book. H.P. Lovecraft, The Call of Cthulhu and Other Weird Stories. And the guy who edited and introduced it, and the notes was by a guy by the name of S.T. Joshi, what's that? J-O-S-H-I. So this is the one, but remember, the one you're looking for is the Penguin Classic Books, a Penguin book. Because there's several H.P. Lovecraft. The one you want is this one, a Penguin book. And basically on page 365, they have these notes up in there. And it's also, go get the movie Congo. Because it's dealing with that, because I think I said in a couple of lectures back that the Congo thing was nothing but the whole Yaku thing, because it was a race of apes that rebelled against their masters. Well, we know Michael Crichton and all of them, they write all these things, but they all work on the same level. And they study each other, plus they're all a part of a secret society. or either they study the occult. They might not be members, but they all study the occult. Now, Michael Crichton wrote the other book, Eaters of the Dead, that they turned into the movie that I explained the last time to go see. You just got to wait till video, The 13th Warrior. And the 13th Warrior, and it shows how the Moors basically went up and civilized the damn caveman. Well, it's interesting that Michael Crichton, he said that he got, it's even in the book, if you buy the book, because the book is now called The 13th Warrior. The original book was called The Eaters of the Dead. But they're selling it as The 13th Warrior or The Eaters of the Dead. But when you buy the book, he explains that I got this from some Arab guy's manuscripts. So there had to have been some type of Moorish manuscripts that this guy wrote this elaborate story on these people that needed to be civilized by the 13th Warrior, which just so happened to be an Arab. The only Arabs in Europe was the black Arabs, or what you call Moors, under the banner of Islamic. You see what I'm saying? Under the banner of Islamic, man. I might want to read this again. I read it the last time, but there's an entire series of this. Now, they have these. Remember I was telling you, I told you that there's a book they put out, all the stuff they put out in comic books. This is a book on the Moors. But there's about 10 books. This one is called The Tribunals of Hermes, Iberia. Tribunals of Hermes, Iberia. Remember I talked about that the last time, and I read this passage on page 70. On page 70, where it says, the Maltas on the Moors. The Moors, they are an incredible people. They do not think, do you not think? Somebody have to slow down. They are fierce warriors, for one thing, but if they had a decent leader among them, to pull them together, we would be speaking Arabic in Barcelona in less than a year, within a year. As it is, the Moors are just being beaten back by Christian armies ganging up on them, on Moorish individual armies. And it says the losses of Moors are not by poor fighting ability. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about now? Slow down. Oh yes, the Moors. You know that they are not just great warriors, they are probably the most intelligent people in the world outside of the order of Hermes. And maybe they are tied with the Jews. Now we know that your book, the 13th tribe, all the cults of 13 tribes, which before he died, John Henry Clark says one of your best books, but this white Jew is converted into Judaism in Spain. All the cults of 13 tribes taken from Moorish manuscripts. I'm going to get ready to give you another book. I'm going to show you how they're running this shit in a few minutes. So they're tied with the Jews, yeah, because they're the one that started the white Jew. And it says, you know those new numbers, the others that are different numerals of all other numbers from 1 to 9, plus the number that means nothing. These numerals are Moorish. So they're actually talking about when they're having it.